That's it, Proverbs.
Okay, for Tough Love Tuesday, we're gonna read and meditate on the verses in Proverbs chapter 29. And so, Princess, go ahead.
Proverbs. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm on Proverbs 17.
You're,
29.
Okay. Proverbs 29.
yeah. So
Whoever remains,
we're gonna read the whole chapter. Go ahead.
whoever remains stiff-necked after many rebukes will suddenly be destroyed without remedy. When the righteous strive, the people rejoice. When the wicked rule, the people groan. A man who loves wisdom brings joy to his father, but a companion of prostitutes squanders his wealth. By just by justice, a king gives a country stability, but those who are greedy for bribes tear it down. Those who flatter their neighbors are spreading nets for their feet. Evildoers are snared by their own sin, but the righteous shout for joy and are glad. The righteous care about justice for the poor, but the wicked have no such concern. Mockers stir up a city, but the wise turn away anger. If a wise person goes to court with the fool rages and scoffs, and there is no peace. The bloodthirsty hate a person of integrity and seek to kill the upright. Fools give full vent to their rage, but the wise bring calm in the end. If a ruler listens to lies, all his officials become wicked. The poor and the oppressor have this common: the Lord gives sight to the eyes of both. If a king judges the poor with fairness, his throne will be established forever.
Okay, verse 15. A rod and a reprimand impart wisdom, but a child left undisciplined disgraces its mother. When the wicked thrive, so does sin, but the righteous will see their downfall. Discipline your children, and they will give you peace. They will bring you the delights of your desires. Where there is no revelation, people cast off restraints, but blessed is the one who heeds wisdom's instructions. Servants cannot be corrected by mere words. Though they understand, they will not respond. Servants cannot be corrected by mere words. Though they understand, they will not respond. Do you see someone who speaks in haste? There is more hope for a fool than for them. A servant pampered from youth will turn out to be insolent. An angry person stirs up conflict. A hot-tempered person commits many sins. Pride brings a person low, but the lowly in spirit gain honor. The accomplices of thieves are their own enemies. They that put under oath, the accomplices of thieves are their own enemies. They that put under oath and dare not testify. Fear of man will prove to be a snare, but whoever trusts in the Lord is kept safe. Many seek an audience with the ruler, but it is from the Lord that one gets justice. The righteous detest the dishonest. The wicked detest the upright. Amen.
Wow, that's something. There's a lot of things that jumped out at me. So you guys tell me which ones jumped out at you, and then we'll take it one at a time.
Mine is 23, Pastor.
Okay, Brother Daniel says verse 23.
Pride ends in humiliation, while humility brings honor.
Okay, there's that cycle again. The cycle of pride and humility. Pride brings a person low. Since we understand that cycle, when you are proud, Okay. When you see people act proud, pay attention to what happens after that. They're brought low.
Downfall.
Okay. Yeah, which is downfall or destruction, you know.
Big
Or a
drop, it
fall.
hurts.
What was that, Asha?
A big drop and it hurts.
Yeah. So that's why, pride is where you are lifted up so high because maybe you have been receiving so much honor and compliments and awards, and you really did deserve it, but your heart became proud, and you didn't know how to be humble about it. So the next step will be for you to be brought low. And when you are brought low, what are you going to do when God humbles you because of your pride? I'm trying to personalize it. What are you going to do when God humbles you? What is the instruction?
Receive it.
Receive when God humbles you,
With joy.
which then says you are lowly, you become lowly. And so it says the lowly in spirit, what happens to you if you're lowly in spirit?
See God.
What's that?
You gain
You see
honor.
God and also he lift you up.
Yeah, it says right there. We're reading it, right? It says you will gain honor. See, so when you are brought low, understand, stay there and let God, allow you to lift you up or allow you to gain honor. Okay, Brother Daniel?
Yeah, like is that a good take in Matthew 23:12, Pastor? Those who humble themselves will be exalted, and those who exalt themselves will be humbled.
Sure. That's a right fit. Yeah. You don't need to ask. You already see it for yourself. It's a right fit, right?
Yeah.
It's consistent with the rest of the scriptures. It's not just in one or two verses. It's throughout the Bible.
Humble
So-
yourself under the mighty hand of God, and he will lift you up in due time.
That's why,
Amen.
when you're able to practice it, right? It's all about practicing it. That when you know how to humble yourself before the Lord, then let God lift you up. You don't have to lift yourself up and tell everybody about all the things I'm doing for God, right? I'm doing all these things for God. Well, that can appear like you're boasting about your works.
Yes.
And that's why you got to be mindful of that. Sometimes it's better to just be quiet about it and serve quietly. And that's a posture of being lowly before God. And then when you're lowly before God, people will recognize, hey, this person is serving God in such a humble way. He doesn't say anything. He just quietly serves. He never complains. He doesn't gossip. It appears that he's humble and lowly in the way he serves God. And therefore, they start honoring you because you're that way, right? Not for show, but because you've learned the wisdom that God taught you, okay? So pride brings a person low, but the lowly in spirit gain honor, okay? So you will gain honor if you're lowly in spirit. But you got to work it with God, because I'm going to start being lowly in spirit right now so I can gain honor. That's not going to work. You have to just be genuine in being lowly in spirit, and don't focus on trying to gain honor. Let God do that. Because that's genuine lowliness in spirit, right? You don't have to try to make yourself gain honor. No, just focus on being lowly in spirit consistently. If you want to be great in God's kingdom, you must be a servant of all. In your freedom, serve one another in love. If you do that consistently, don't worry about trying to gain honor. It'll happen. Princess, what's your thought?
No, I have my verse, Pastor.
Okay, go ahead. Share your verse.
Verse 1.
Verse 1. Okay.
It intrigued me that, whoever remains stiff-necked after many rebukes will suddenly be destroyed without remedy.
Okay. Do you remember that phrase, stiff-necked? When we studied the other day, we were talking about how Stephen, right, was calling his accusers, you stiff-necked something people with uncircumcised hearts and uncircumcised ears. And they said, let's kill him. And they did.
When God told the Israelites they are stiff-necked people.
Yeah, I'm sure we could do a word search and find the many references to God calling his people stiff-necked, especially in the downfall of the nations. You guys understand that Israel and Judah, when they were a divided kingdom, they had a downfall of their nation. They were conquered. They were conquered by the Assyrians, by the Babylonians, and by the Persians. And then when we get to the time of Jesus, the ones who are in power in Israel are the Roman Empire. Because Israel is a conquered people, and God corrected them constantly about being stiff-necked, stubborn.
Oh.
So stiff-necked is like a picture of being stubborn.
Can't move. It just wants to stay in one position.
Yeah. You should turn your head this way and go this way. No, I can't. I will not. You should bow down. No, I won't bow down. Stiff neck. If you want to do a search in the Bible dictionary for the word stiff-necked, you might get more insight on that. Do you guys want to do that? Somebody have a Bible dictionary? Look up stiff-necked.
That's a lot of people get stiff-necked when they wake up, Pastor. Because they don't stay in one position.
I think they don't turn on the right and they don't turn on the left, Patrick.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a visual it's
And
a
it hurts.
visual word. What is it? Way of saying that you're stubborn and hard-headed. So it says here, whoever remains stiff-necked after many rebukes. See, you get rebuked.
Like defiant.
So you say, I don't care if you're correcting me. I reject that. So it's a continuous rejection of rebukes. Well, what is going to happen if you keep rejecting the rebukes? Remember, part of life is the correction. I don't want to be corrected. I hate being corrected. Leave me alone. Don't tell me how to live, right? Don't tell me what to do. Well, if you remain stiff-necked after many rebukes, not one, not two, not three, many rebukes, you will suddenly be destroyed. And without remedy, which means there's no more hope when you get to that level of stubbornness. Okay.
Wow. Beyond repair.
Yeah. And what is beyond remedy? Because I wouldn't listen, to wisdom. I wouldn't listen to people's advice. I did whatever I felt like it. I was killed for committing adultery. Okay? Because I wouldn't listen to people telling me to go on the right path. I ended up going to jail because I committed murder. See?
They don't want to change.
So you got it. There's a verse that and it's in the Bible. listen to advice and accept instruction. And it says, and in the end, you'll be wise. So if you want to look that up, it's in Proverbs. Okay. Listen to advice and accept instruction. And in the end, you'll be wise. Okay, Manny, you have your hand raised.
Yeah, I think the stiff-necked people are getting older. Comes with age.
Come on.
Now, not even kids.
Leave my phone in the car.
Yeah, I think so, Pedro.
I think I'm one of them.
Who has a Bible dictionary?
Mahal, you wanna buy?
Nobody has a Bible dictionary? Download a Bible dictionary, someone. It'll be for your benefit and it's free. Go ahead. What were you gonna say, Manny?
Old
People,
Okay, hold on. I can't hear Manny. Go ahead, Manny.
the stiff-necked people are the ones that are getting older.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah,
Why are the older people
just
stiff-necked?
sleeping.
Huh?
Just sleeping gets, and you wake up in pain.
Because they're so old.
Yes, they
Who are what age are the old people, Manny?
60.
60 and above.
60 and above?
Yes.
You're talking about all of us.
Because our oil,
You know-
our
you know,
oil
the thing
birthrights
is,
are gone.
When you're talking about old people being stiff-necked, there's a kind of a wisdom there because old people are set in their ways. They don't want to change. And that could be the reason why we're stiff-necked. We don't want to learn anything new.
Or
We
they
don't
have,
want to change our way of thinking. We like it.
or they have Parkinson's.
Oh,
Well, then that's
Oh,
another
come
story.
on,
right?
Manny.
Unbelievable.
That's another story.
Okay.
Transfer.
You know, somebody, you can even do a Google search for stiff-necked. But I mean, this is how I would do my research on that, you know, this idea of being stiff-necked. Look up, you know,
I looked
look
it up in the Vine dictionary.
Okay, hold on.
And-
Debbie said she looked it up in the Vine dictionary. So Debbie, read it for us.
It's very short. It just says harsh, hard. And then it says a neck is used metaphorically.
Okay. So harsh,
Harsh,
hard,
hard,
and hard, and a
Hard.
neck is used metaphorically.
metaphorically. Mhm.
Yeah, it's a metaphor,
Right.
right?
That's
Which
all.
is like what is it? It's another way of language, or another form of speech. And so the metaphor of a neck being harsh, hardened, if you want to put it together, it'd be like,
Proud and stubborn person.
yeah. So if you want to put it together, it's like, don't correct me, don't tell me I'm wrong, because I'm not wrong, and I won't change. Well, leave me alone.
Mine is rebellious and resistant to God's guidance or correction.
Yeah, see?
See,
So that's
all-
that's
all.
why it says, if you stay that way, Bert or Princess, if you stay that way, you're going to be destroyed without remedy.
Oh, yes.
See,
I'm beyond repair.
this is the consequences of this kind of actions or attitudes, right? Being stiff-necked, not willing to learn.
Mm.
This is what's going to happen to you. You're going to be destroyed.
ang bibi ko.
So what's the solution? The solution is stop it,
Losing it.
right?
Surrender.
You got to stop being stiff-necked. See, it's interesting. We remember when we were studying yesterday, do not despise the Lord's discipline and do not resent his rebuke, right? And it's like, it doesn't tell you to explain. Why are you so stiff-necked? Why are you so resentful about God's rebuke? Why are you so, why do you despise God's rebuke? Let's talk about it. You know, let's talk about why you hate it. It doesn't say let's talk about it. It says stop it. It just says don't do it. See, that's the way God's
Stubborn.
ways are. He just says, don't do it.
We're all stubborn.
You see what I'm saying? Are you listening?
No,
It's not about talking about why you are stubborn, why you're stiff-necked, trying to counsel your way through why you need to not despise the Lord's discipline or don't resent his rebuke. It's not about, let's talk about it. Why are you feeling this way? It just says don't despise it, don't resent it. Now wrestle with that. You know what I'm saying? So don't be stiff-necked, wrestle with that.
verse
You don't need to talk
15.
about it. You don't need to go, oh, I need to talk to a therapist who's going to help me talk through why I'm so stiff-necked. No, just don't.
Verse
Sorry.
13 covers
No.
it.
What's that, Manny?
Verse 13.
Oh, now you want to go to verse 13?
Yes.
That's an interesting verse, right? So you guys might want to share your translations as well. The poor and the oppressor have this in common. The Lord gives sight to the eyes of both. Now, what does that mean? When you have the poor and the oppressor having this in common. You guys got that? Okay, so it's interesting. If I were to do a whiteboard illustration on this, I wonder if this pencil died, has a dead battery. Isn't that weird? Okay, so if you were to try to illustrate it, you would have the poor person and the oppressor. Okay. So I'll use me and Daniel as the illustration if I can. Okay, so me and Daniel. Okay, me and Daniel. Okay. So we have a relationship. But in this relationship, there's a power play, right? The power play is I'm the oppressor. Okay. So he is the poor person in this relationship. So who has the power? Me, right? I have the power. I'm the oppressor. You know what it means for me to be the oppressor?
Bully.
Yeah, I'm like the bully, or I keep him down. You know, I'm the one who
Know it all.
who has all the power at work. I'm his boss, and I treat him badly. Okay.
Daniel.
So look how poor he is and how powerful I am. That's the relationship that's being talked about. The poor and the oppressor. Okay, at the same time, when you put God into the mix, right? Remember that verse that says, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Let me know if, hold on, let me try to fix. If you guys can help with the background noise, I'll put Princess and Manny as the co-host. So that way we avoid background noise. That's all. You know, this is technology, guys. Okay, so going to the story. Okay. You know that verse that says rich and poor have this in common? The Lord is the maker of them both.
Yes.
Okay. So between me and Bill Gates, right? Bill Gates is filthy rich. I'm poor compared to him. We're the same. We have something in common. What is that? God made
Yes.
both of us. So in
And
the
you both
same
go to the
dynamic.
bathroom.
What's that?
You both go to the toilet. Even he eats delicious and you eat.
We're both human and we're both made by God. So this relationship that I have is God made us both. Okay. But this relationship is also unfair. I'm the oppressor, he's the poor one. I'm the rich oppressor, he's the poor, the one being abused by me. And so it says we have this in common, And what is it that we have in common besides God making us both? It says, the Lord gives sight to the eyes of both. So that means God gave Daniel the ability to see, and God gave me the ability to see, because God gave both of us eyes. So now, what is Daniel seeing, guys? What does he see?
The same thing as what you see.
Yeah. So what does he see?
You both see the goodness of God.
No. That's not the context.
Okay.
Because remember, it's oppressor and poor relationship. So what do we both see? What we both see is that I'm the abuser
Exactly.
and you're the one being oppressed.
Oh, man.
That's what Daniel sees.
I
What
can see my
Daniel sees
oppressor.
is Bert is oppressing me.
Amen.
And what I see is I'm oppressing Daniel.
Anybody can spare some food there?
So we both can see this. It's like, you're not blind. You know what's going on. I'm abusing this guy. And me and him, we see it. We both see what's going on. And it seems to end it on that level. The Lord gives sight to the eyes of both. Now, since we both see it clearly that I'm oppressing him and he's the one being abused, right? It seems, since God gave us the eyes to see that, what should we do?
Change your ways.
Yeah, there's an opportunity to change this. I should stop oppressing him. I know I'm oppressing him. I know I'm treating him badly. I should stop. He says, I know I'm being treated badly. I know I'm being oppressed by Bert. Bert should stop this. That's the best I can process with that verse. The poor and the oppressor have this in common. The Lord gives sight to the eyes of both. And since God gave both of us eyes, we need to do something about it, because there's something wrong in this picture. And that's the eyes that we've been given by God. There's something wrong with me oppressing the poor.
And one thing, Pastor, is like there's something in us that is very equal. Our eyes can see.
Yeah. So yeah, we both see. We both see. We both see wrongdoing, right? Because oppressing the poor is wrong. And we both see it. And I'm the one doing it. He's the one receiving the oppression. And what are you going to do now, right? Let's correct it. Let's do the right thing is what we do as, believers of God. Because remember the simple rule, the simple summary of the law is what? What is the summary of the law?
Love one another.
Yeah, love your neighbor as you love yourself. Do to others as you would have others do to you. So I should be thinking along the lines of, would I want to be oppressed if I was in his position? No. So since I don't want to be oppressed if I was in his position, I should not be oppressing him. See? So there, we both see who's right and who's wrong in this situation, and the one who's wrong should do something about it. Okay? Does that pretty much answer your question for verse 13?
Maybe to add to that, verse 16. When the wicked thrive, so does sin, but the righteous will see their downfall.
Yeah, there's a lot of verses like that that really jumped out at me. It's about power. When the wicked thrive, as if when the wicked come to power, so does sin. Sin thrives. And isn't that interesting principle? But the righteous will see their downfall. So even though wicked people thrive and it spreads, it says here, the righteous, right? Those are people who have the fear of the Lord. They will see their
The
downfall. Look at it says in verse 2, so these are principles of when you're voting, right? And it's not about Democrat or Republican. When you're voting, we should focus on righteousness and wickedness, right?
Yes.
Because look at verse 2 of 29, when the righteous thrive, the people rejoice. As if to
Amen.
say, when the righteous come to power, people will be
Everyone's
happy, right?
Benefit.
says-
Everyone benefits good.
Yeah, and then it says, when the wicked rule, right,
Suffer.
the people groan. Did you see that?
Yeah.
So when the wicked rule, that's verse 2. So when the wicked rule, the people groan. It's like, man, it's so hard having wicked people ruling over us because it's just they make bad decisions that affect the country. A man who loves wisdom. Okay, and then verse 4, by justice, a king gives country stability. See, when things are being done righteously, it gives a country stability. But those who are greedy, which probably falls in line with those who are leaders who wants to take bribes, right? Those who are greedy for bribes tear it down. See, you see that in the nations. When there's a nation that's very corrupt and they take bribes, it hurts the country. Yeah. So I think we should wrap it up with that. Okay, guys, because it's already 7:30. And let's now close in prayer.